1960s, the CIA's UFO and Bigfoot evidence. In the 1960s, the CIA investigated an alleged simultaneous encounter with Bigfoot and a UFO at Presque Isle State Park in the all-too appropriately named city, Erie, Pennsylvania. The ensuing reports were documented as part of the infamous Project Bluebook, during which the government investigated thousands of cases involving UFOs. Presque Isle is a peninsula arching out over Lake Erie to form Presque Isle Bay, one of the state's most visited summer tourist destinations. On the night of July 31, 1966, 4 tourists from New York found their car stuck in the sand after spending the day relaxing on Beach 6 of the peninsula. One member of the group, Gerald LaBelle, was sent to call a tow truck, while the others remained in the car. Around 10 p.m., police on patrol stopped to ask if they were all right. After being informed that help was on the way, the officers said they would check back within the hour. When the police returned, about 35 minutes later, the group said it witnessed something weird going on up there, pointing to a location in the sky above a wooded area. One of the group's members, Douglas Tibbetts, went to investigate along with the 2 officers. The 2 women in the group, Betty Clem and Anita Hifley, remained in the car while they waited for everyone's return. Tibbetts and the officers walked roughly 300 yards up the beach before hearing the honking of their car horns, hurrying back to see what happened. Clem and Hifley, clearly shaken, said they witnessed a dull black shape, bigger than a man, big head and shoulders, arm-like appendages, no hands, no face visible, as though it had its back turned in front of their car before it lumbered into the bushes. When Clem blew the horn, a scratching sound on the hood or roof of the car was also reported. In the end, this creature was dismissed by investigators as a raccoon, despite the lady's very distinct description of a bipedal, humanoid figure. But what about the UFO? The UFO was described as an angular craft, emitting red and orange lights before descending down to the beach, where it radiated a beam of white light that tracked something into the woods. But eventually, it took off at an incredible speed to the north shortly after the women encountered the humanoid figure. In the early hours of the following morning, officers patrolled the area where the craft allegedly landed. The report says they noticed the presence of 2 unusual triangular marks in the area, coinciding with the craft's landing zone. The officer writing the report said, "I have no reasonable explanation of the UFO," and described the witnesses as creditable. Investigation of the case was eventually abandoned, remaining unsolved to this day. The Project Bluebook report dismisses the group's testimony as possibly a hoax, though no definitive conclusion was made. A local television station aired a segment some decades later, interviewing a man who said the UFO was a hot air balloon he ordered and built from an issue of Boy's Life magazine. But this man's claim implies that the homemade hot air balloon would have traveled in a straight line, precisely due north for several miles, carried by the wind, without straying off course. Also, hot air balloons do not travel at great velocity. Hot air balloons also do not land and take off again in the manner described, despite the fact that witnesses' accounts describe something far more complex than a paper balloon. The man's testimony doesn't explain the strange marks on the beach where the craft supposedly landed, baffling CIA investigators. To this day, the witnesses maintain their accounts of what happened, and many others have come forward saying they too saw a UFO above the peninsula that evening. As theoretical physics continues to change our perception of reality with the prospect of a multiverse and quantum entanglement, it seems Einstein's spooky action at a distance might be a little spookier than we imagined. Source: reposted and summarized from Gaia.com. My take: do you think there is a link between UFOs and Sasquatch? Is Sasquatch an alien? Is Sasquatch an alien pet? I suspect that Sasquatch are natural occurring creatures, leftover Neanderthals, or something similar from the days in the past. Aliens might just be observing them, too.
Don't forget to sign up for our Patreon page. Members get early access to videos, ad-free, and you can see content you can't see anywhere else.